Bucknutters. It's Tuesday, September 6th, 2016. I'm Dan Rubin. This is the Bucknuts Morning 5 and Change, joined as always on Tuesdays by Duane Long. Duane, how are you on this Victory Hangover Tuesday?
I'm still in hangover mode, Dan. I mean, I woke up Sunday morning and I was like, did I dream that? I mean, it just absolute. I wasn't ready for that. I just was not ready for this young team to come out and look like that. So I'm still basking in it.
There's no question that it's an enjoyable experience in almost anything in life to wait, and then have something exceed your best case scenario. That was really, really fun. However, as we get a little bit further and further away from the W, we realize that football is a game of reality, and there were some injuries. Kind of break down how you see the infirmary report and what the effect it's going to have on the team there going forward.
Well, this is where the depth comes in. We've talked about how much talent we have on this team, and we're worried about scholarship numbers for this recruiting class. Well, look at what happened. You know, we lost a spiritual, a guy that is the players rally around in Tracy Sprinkle. Tough guy, plays hard, good guy. I think that we could have seen a guy go from in the doghouse to being a team leader here. I mean, this guy could have been a captain eventually, and still could be. But losing him, that was big. We lost Booker. We saw KJ Hill over on the sidelines rotating his shoulders. We've never heard more about that. I was very relieved. It looks like now that Jamarco Jones. Well, I was devastated. I thought, oh my Lord, what's going to happen now when he went down? But it is looking more like it was a cramp. I just was having a hard time believing that because it was so early in the second half. He shouldn't be cramping up that early. But here's where the fact that we have this kind of depth is going to help us. You know, we lose Booker, but Booker went in there and looked really good. Looked good immediately. So that's the positive that comes out of it. We got some guys banged up. That was the one down thing I would say about this game, that, you know, just got some guys hurt.
I guess it's kind of the natural attrition of the game. Inside defensive tackle, probably the most interesting to watch, in that they've got just a cast of characters in there. They were subbing early and often. I do think there's enough talent there to find some level of combinations that will work. This is clear to me, though. 97 has to be on the field a lot. That's going to become apparent as we go further, provided his knee holds up. I think Nick Bosa was spectacular. He's going to have to play a lot. And they better make sure Mike Hill is healthy, because he now becomes as vital a player on the team in terms of his role and value as almost anybody we have out there. So definitely something to watch. Another thing to watch was a little more details here. We're going to geek out on the offense. The question is this: did we witness a change in the philosophy at Ohio State, in that the quarterback really was not a main part of the running game? In fact, if you go back and look at J.T. Barrett's all-time starts, he's never been featured that little as a runner. You got to go back to the Illinois game in 2014, first day of November. That's the last time he rushed the ball that few times. He was 6 carries for 30 yards against Bowling Green. He's usually about a 15 to 16 carry guy if you go by his averages. They used those carries, though, to spread the ball around. Mike Weber got his touches. Curtis Samuel got his touches. And what I thought was great about it was they didn't use the quarterback for short yardage. That always used to be my biggest gripe. It wasn't the running. It was that in short yardage situations, they were more reliant upon the quarterback than I thought needed to be. Do you think we witnessed a change? Do you support the change? Do you think it was a fluke? How do you see it?
I think it's more that, you know, with no Zeke Elliott to turn around and hand the ball off to, I think it's just, you know, we got to keep this guy healthy. Let's not get him beat up. He has had some injuries. So I think that has a lot to do with it, is just keep the guy healthy. But also, you know, it could be, Dan. I mean, I'm not saying it isn't. It could be that we're not going to see the quarterback carry the ball as much. But I think it is really a focus on just not getting this guy beat up. It's nice that we can do that simply because, well, we don't know if Haskins can run it all, or not. I've seen some high school film. He had a rather long video, and I think people just eventually turned it off. But late on the film, he shows that he's got legs. He can run, but that's not going to be his forte. So maybe we did see a difference. I think as the season wears on, and Urban Meyer gets more faith in Weber and Samuel and even McCall, that maybe we'll see the running back carrying the ball more and take they're not going to be so worried about JT getting hit because they can depend on the running attack, and they'll let him carry the ball a little bit more. But that was different. There's no doubt about it. How many called runs were there? There were a couple of options, but mostly we just did not see. I don't know if we saw a true zone read play all game. No, so maybe we have seen where we're not going to see the quarterback be a runner as much in the future.
You mentioned Haskins, and Burrow can run it a little bit, but I would think, based on the guys they have coming in, at least for the next class, the idea of throwing the ball more from the pocket might be more advantageous. Here's another thing I saw. I love Jacoby Bourne as a Buckeye, but I think the strength they have now in between the guard center gaps, especially Mike Jordan, who looks like a man, I think they're going to be able to run the ball more effectively up the middle now just because you've got Elflein as the center. What do you think about that?
Oh, I absolutely agree with that. And that's what they did all game. And I found it very interesting that what they were doing was running off Jordan's side more so than Price's side. You got a guy who's going in his third year as a starter, and they go behind the freshman. That was fascinating. But yeah, so many runs up inside, up between the tackles, and you've got a guy who is big enough, physical enough to really. He's not just a tough technician; he's a big tough technician in Elflein. So
yeah,
yes, yeah, I absolutely saw that. They think that they can run the ball up in there like that, and you know what, Dan, that takes it out of a defense that they're running right at us, and there's nothing we can do about it. That will psychologically, that you'll get in the head of a defense if that's happening.
There's no question. I just like the balanced approach they had overall, offense and defense, to tell you the truth. Last topic. We had a chance to see everybody now. We're going to do this every week with Duane. Duane, as you all know, he's here every Tuesday. We're going to do what we call the eye test top 5. So, you've seen everybody. Give me your national top 5 now, just on the eye test, just on your top 5 as of right now.
Well, right now, after watching games this weekend, I've got to go with Alabama, Ohio State number 2. I didn't watch the Clemson-Auburn game, but Clemson did go in. Auburn's not a top 25 team. I'm going to Clemson went into Auburn. That's still a tough place to win. I'm going to go with Clemson number 3, just barely. I'm going to go with after watching last night, Florida State come in, and I mean they're down 28-10, and just really kind of blow Mississippi out of the water. I mean they just took them out. And my number 5 is going to be a surprise. Houston. Houston played very well. They dominated an Oklahoma team that was ranked in the top 5. So I'm going to go with Houston.
We will start out in agreement. I think that's the fairest top 5. Yes, we have OSU number 2. I remind you the name of the site is Bucknuts, not Buck Rational Observers. Still, I think we're on the way to, as I said, it's going to be my theme, establishing that this is a minor Saban world or Saban minor world. Depends on what you want. We'll go from there. We appreciate Duane stopping by. We hope every Tuesday is such a glorious wallowing in greatness. Have a great one, Bucknutters.